Sup guys, welcome to the Anime Kingdom discussion review. This one is on episode 9 of Log Horizon second season. And like as I was saying before the last episode, I was getting kind of not caring too much because there's a lot of just them talking, and I like talking sometimes, but it was getting really boring. And they brought out so much things, the raid group losing the stuff in Akihabara, what happened to Krusty, and it felt like they shouldn't have brought that much stuff out, and then, you know, not be able to answer those questions for like how many episodes. Because this one is finally we get to know what happened to the raid, but we still don't know. Like it might be a couple more episodes. They're gonna finish the raid part, and then we get to figure out what happened to Krusty. It's just I feel like they should do one thing at a time kind of thing. Not like all of a sudden that one episode had like, or like, a couple episodes had like everything happening, and all of a sudden they're only focusing on one thing. And maybe it makes you feel like, oh, I can't wait to figure out what happened then. But it's more like when it comes, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I forgot Krusty, he disappeared, kind of thing. Flavor text, blah blah blah. But that's just me. As for the episode, the whole beginning part, most of the episode, the beginning half of the episode was, of course, about the raid group and pretty much how they all died. They were fighting this boss. It was really cool, actually. I love watching these raid boss fights in Log Horizon because they're really realistic in the way that they were trying to figure out how to finish this boss and, what is the weaknesses and what's going on. And it was pretty cool to watch. We still got Demikaz he wants to kill Shido still yet, and all that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, when they're fighting the boss, they start to figure out how to beat him. He's pretty cheat at first, but then they figure out, okay, this is how you do it. And they're slowly adapting, and they could beat it slowly. All of a sudden, two other raid bosses come. So that means when you're not supposed to. It's always supposed to be one raid boss in that certain area, but all of a sudden two of the other raid bosses come, which means there's three raid bosses they have to fight, which of course is pretty much impossible, and everyone starts to die and pretty much giving up and stuff. It was just like, what the heck, three raid bosses? Yeah, like did they literally make this raid impossible? Not only are these bosses way stronger than they were in the other raids that these people have seen, but three raid bosses in one area? What the heck? After that, the second half of the episode is pretty much Shido. We already got to see Akatsuki, in her, when she died, what happened to her, what she figured out. We pretty much see Shido with the same thing, and like learning about what's going on, and I mean how it is to die and what it is to lose it, and pretty much makes you feel like you want to die. It's giving like these, you go into this bad memory kind of part, and we learn a lot about Shido. He looks a lot different, by the way, in real life. We learn a bunch about him and how he was, and how him growing up, was, and his pretty much childhood, and where he lives and stuff. And that was pretty interesting. And then of course it went to the part where he's with Akatsuki on the moon, and that moon is actually supposed to be a test server, which is pretty interesting in the fact that too. And pretty much, it goes through the whole thing with Akatsuki, what happened to Akatsuki when she was there with Shido, and it's pretty much just a repeat of that. And it was pretty interesting. I like this episode. Finally, we get a lot of, what happened to the raid group. We get to see, and it was pretty good action, most of it. And then we got a little bit of like, oh, so this is what it is like, what it's like to die, and that's why Shido learns, what happened to William, why he said that, how it feels to die, and all that kind of stuff, and all that kind of stuff. And of course, Demikaz still wants to kill him. We get to see what happens there, and I cannot wait for the next episode. Hopefully, they continue this, and we'll see the rest. How the raid group plans on finishing this, raid, because they pretty much got wiped completely, and I want to know how the heck they're going to beat 3 of them. I'm wondering if maybe the only 3 of them come out if there's like a time thing. It's a time thing. Maybe, who knows. And I seriously still want to know what happened to Krusty and, all the kind of stuff with flavor text and her, the weapons. And yeah, it's really weird that they would make it so they stack so much stuff up and then now it's going one at a time on the things. That's just me. As always, guys, discussion as well. So comment below what you thought. If you have any questions, comment below. If I missed anything, comment below. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this Anime Kingdom discussion and review. Till next time, guys. See ya.